Hello dear friends, I am Dr. Pratap Naikwade. Welcome you all for online 1 week interdisciplinary certificate course in Basics of Organic Farming conducted by IQSC and Department of Botany, Atle Sapravitre College, Devruk.
Dear friends, in this third video, we will study components of organic farming as well as characteristics of successful organic farmers. Organic farming has different components such as crop rotation, crop residue, organic manures, biofertilizers, non-chemical weed management, biopesticides, and biodiversity. First component is crop rotation. Crop rotation is a systematic arrangement of growing of different crops in more or less regular sequence on the same land for a particular period. Selection of a particular crop and subsequent next crop is very important. Crop is selected on basis of soil fertility management, weed, insect, and disease control. Leguminous plants are essential in any rotation as they are useful for nitrogen fixation. You know that inside root nodules, many nitrogen fixing bacteria are present which increase fertility of soil. A mixed row cropping and livestock system is desirable or even essential for the success of organic farming. These are 4 steps in crop rotation. We can alternate these 4 crops one by one. First, we have to cultivate legume crops such as beans, peas, and other leguminous members. Next to that, we have to grow the economically important root plants, maybe onion, garlic, turnips, beets, carrot, radishes, etc. Next to that, we have to grow fruit crops such as tomato, cucumbers, peppers, eggplant, melons, etc. Next to that, we have to grow the leaf containing plant such as spinach, lettuce, brassicas, corns, etc. So by this way, the crops they are always rotated so that the fertility of the soil is maintained. The second component is crop residue. A lot of crop residues are available in farm which include vegetative parts of plants like straw, leaves, etc. Many times it is neglected or burned, causing air pollution and loss of valuable resources. Actually, crop residue is not waste, it is wealth. Generally, 50% of crop residue are utilized as animal feed, but remaining can be utilized for recycling of nutrients. Crop residue is when allowed to decompose in field, it will improve physico-chemical properties of soil, increase fertility, and subsequently agricultural productivity. Crop residue can be used for preparation of different organic manures like farmyard manure, compost, vermicompost, etc. Next component is organic manures. Organic manures are prepared from biological sources like plant, animal, and human residues. Organic manures add organic matter and other nutrients in soil which results into enhanced crop growth and soil productivity. Organic manures also increase beneficial soil microorganisms and their activities and thus increase the availability of major and minor plant nutrients. Organic manures can be divided into 2 types. First, it is bulky organic manures. It generally contains fewer amounts of plant nutrients as compared to the concentrated organic manures. Example are farmyard manure as well as compost, vermicompost as well as green manure. Next, it is concentrated organic manure. It includes those materials which are organic in nature and contain higher percentage of essential plant nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium as compared to bulky organic manures. These are made from raw materials of animal and plant origin. Examples are oil cakes as well as bone meal, blood meal, meat meal, horn and hoof meal, etc. Next component is biofertilizers. Biofertilizer is culture of beneficial microorganisms which are capable of atmospheric nitrogen fixing and other properties when used on suitable crops. The microorganisms in biofertilizers are capable of mobilizing nutritive elements from non-usable form to the usable form through biological processes. To restore the health of soil, biofertilizers maintain continuous supply of nutrients. Biofertilizers are economically attractive and ecologically sound resources which improve the quality and quantity of agricultural product. These biofertilizers, they retain moisture as well as lock the nutrient inside the soil. They absorb residues of pesticides as well as the heavy metals and reducing the pollution. They increase the microbial life and improves the soil aggregate structure. The beneficial microorganisms which can be used as biofertilizers include not only biological nitrogen fixers but also phosphate solubilizers and mycorrhizal fungi. Some common examples are Rhizobium, Azotobacter, Azospirillum, TSM, Azolla, Cyanobacteria as well as AM fungi. Next component is non-chemical weed management. Weeds are unwanted plants grown in the field causing competition to crop and reducing the yield of crop. In organic farming, no chemicals are used for killing weeds. Instead of that, mechanical weed control, especially in row crops, is practiced. No herbicides are used. Various cultural, biological and physical methods are used for weed management. Botanical herbicides, mycoherbicides and bioagents are also used to control weeds. Weeds can be used for preparation of various organic manures. Next component is biopesticides. In organic farming, chemical pesticides are not used to kill pest or disease management. Non-chemical biological pest management is encouraged. Natural enemies of pests are used to control or eliminate the pest. Botanical pesticides, those derived from neem or microbial pesticides like Bacillus thuringiensis, commonly known as BT, is also used. Biopesticides are natural plant products which contain secondary metabolites like alkaloids, terpenoids, phenolics and other minor secondary chemicals. These secondary chemicals shows biological activity against insect nematodes. Botanical insecticides are ecologically and environmentally safer, generally affect the behavior and physiology of insect rather than killing them. Neem, which has botanical name Azadirachta indica, is most important as ingredient of biopesticides because all parts of the neem tree possesses insecticidal properties but seed kernel is most active. Biopesticides have a good scope especially in view of environmental problems that are caused with the use of synthetic chemical pesticides. Some of the commonly used botanical pesticides are nicotine, pyrethrum, retinone, rhyanine, quassia, margosa and acorus. The last component of organic farming is biodiversity. Organic farming conserves as well as uses biodiversity at all levels. In organic farming, diversity of crop is maintained by crop rotation as well as intercropping. Diverse combination of plants and animals is used for nutrient and energy cycling for increasing agricultural production. The frequent use of underutilized species reduces loss of agrobiodiversity, creating a healthier gene pool, the basis of future adaptation. Organic farming provides food and shelter to many macro and microorganisms. Biodiversity maintained is useful for pollination and pest management by biological control. With this, we have completed all the components of organic farming. In upcoming days, we will study all these components in detail. Now, we will study the characteristics of successful organic farmers. A successful organic farmer must have commitment to a safer food supply and protection of the environment, patience and good observation skills, and understanding of ecological systems, good marketing skills and motivation to spend time seeking out markets, a willingness to share stories of success and failures and to learn from others, as well as flexibility and eagerness to experiment with new techniques and practices. With this, we have completed this video. In next video, we will study advantages as well as the disadvantages of the organic farming. These are the references. Thank you. We all thank you to organic farmers, to those that work in acres and not in hours. Thank you.